Hi, welcome back to the happiness games for romantic relationships. We continue our conversation on energies in romantic relationships. Last week we talked about resonating energy. So there are enough similarity in the vibrations of the energy coming from each partner that come into this dance that's harmonious and resonating. And today we'll be talking about the opposing energy that appears to be different. There is a perception that when we have a difference in relationships, there must be a conflict. Actually, it doesn't work always that way. Sometimes differences are actually driving for the relationship, and they can be quite complementary. So I just want to clarify what I'm talking about here is the energy coming from each partner. They're opposing each other. They're different. They are the opposite. Or we say on the color chart is cross the color wheel, which is complementary. First, I was like, why is complementary if they're the opposite end of the color wheel? Especially, this red. Ooh, where's that? Red opposing green. There is a saying in Chinese culture, 红配绿,赛狗屁. It doesn't sound very good. Literal translation is when you add a red color and the green color together, it's worse than a dog fart. It's quite bad. But interestingly, in the Forbidden Palace in Beijing, there's a lot of red and green colors going with each other. And is quite complementary. So, applying to energies in romantic relationships, why the complementary energy can be very good and driving for a relationship and not necessarily lead to conflict. So, let me dissect that for you. First, I want to say that let's take a look like a chart. Like I did a watercolor for us today, and you can see I used the red and the green. This is from last week, and that's a resonating energy, and this is this week's opposing complementary energy. I deliberately choose to use red and green, even though that's not good in my culture, frowned upon in my culture. So I just want to demonstrate to you how that works. Okay, I'm gonna get up. You can see. Let's not to look at the resonating. We only look at this complementary energy. Do you see on the first one? Actually, this partner send out this red energy towards this partner. See, notice there's some permeability in the boundary of the partner B that opened and actually resonated with a part in them that's this color tone. Even though it's a little bit orange-red, similar enough is being received. And then when this partner sent out a green energy towards partner A, the boundary is also open for them to receive, and there might be some resonating here in the different tones, slightly yellowish tone of green. But this is what actually more resonating energy. There is a port in them to receive. There is no similarity in their system to integrate that. And what I want to show you is this one. So when partner A is sending a greenish red energy, while partner B is sending a reddish energy, and they meet in the middle. And this is a huge difference. It's the opposing color on the color wheel. And this can be a huge difference if you don't integrate it well, but it also can be complementary. Let me give you an example live. So what I'm about to share has nothing to do with gender. Is the masculine and the feminine energy, which we can all have. No matter what gender you are or non-gender you are, we all have masculine and feminine energy within our personal system. The yin and the yang. Yang is masculine, yin is feminine. So the typical masculine energy, one of them is the protective energy, wanting to protect the people they love. And the typical feminine energy, one of them is wanting to nurture the love object. So if, let's say, the red is the feminine energy that come in wanting to nurture We'll just give a sign, a color. It's red, feminine, nurturing energy. And the green is the masculine, protective energy. Say they meet in the middle. So this is a partnership. Again, non-gender identified. So let me give you some examples of the protective energy. So a masculine protective energy, let's say is green color. It can show up as baby-proof the house. When your child starts going from infancy to toddlerhood, when you baby-proof the house, cover the sharp edges and put lock on the cabinet and plug in the socket with something to block it to protect a child's exploration to be safe. That's very protective. That's actually a masculine energy come in. It could be done by a mother or father or whoever, but it's a masculine protective energy. It's in one example. Another example could be putting alarm system around your house, setting up the wires and alarm system by the door, the code you need to punch, and calling the services to make sure everything works. So that's very protective. That's protective energy. The action is driving by this energy, want to protect the safety of the people they love who live there. A third example could be a masculine protective energy want to walk on the outskirt of the street while they're walking with someone to defend them, protect them away from the flowing traffic on the side. So they're the first impact when something happened to them. That's also very protective. Again, it doesn't have to come from a male figure. It's a masculine energy that can be in anybody. Okay, so those three are just examples of protective energy. I'll put it aside. Now we look at the nurturing energy, the feminine nurturing energy. We assign the red color to it and for the purpose of today's exploration. One example is to make sure there's always food in the pantry, in the fridge. There's always available to be grabbed, and invest in time and money to shop and cook and prepare those healthy food and stock them up to make them available to the loved ones who live in the same household where people come to visit, to nurture them. That's one example. The second example could be and they make sure everything is neat and tidy, the environment that's very pleasant for them to live in, for the loved one to live in. Make sure it's warm, make sure the bills are paid, make sure there's clean sheets available, clean towels and toilet paper all stocked up, providing comfort, making a home. That's very nurturing energy. It's nesting. It could be done by a male or female again. It's just coming from the feminine nurturing energy side of them. The third one could be, I have a really good example. When my twins are little babies, I like to heat up the towels, the bath towels. The one with the little hat on the corner, and then you wrap them in the towel. I like to heat it up a couple minutes in the dryer before the twins come out of the bath, and then I wrap them around with this warm towel. I don't know where I got that idea. I never had that happen to me when I was a child, but I just intuitively feel this nice relaxation when this warmth wrapped around them. I imagine in my brain, and it comes from my heart, that nurturing part of me, want them to have the best experience when they come out of the hot shower in the cold San Francisco Bay, so they can have this joy and warmth wrapped around them with mommy's embrace. So I always do that. That's a nurturing energy coming from me. So those are three examples. Do you see if any of those energy coming from one partner and the other partner's boundary is open and receptive? This is actually quite complementary. It just works. It just works. One is baby-proofing the house. The other one is making sure the food is stocked up. There's no conflict to it per se. The second one is also, set up the alarm in the house to make sure it's safe and make sure the house inside the house is clean and comfortable. there's no conflict either. Everybody benefits, right? Every member in the family benefit from those energy. The third one always walk on the outside and to protect the members of the family. And then the other one is to provide this warm towel and comfort after bath. There's also no conflict. It's a different, they may not want to do the same thing. See, the partner who's giving out this protective energy may not tap into the nurturing energy themselves. That's not something they find necessary to think about. The bath towel, for example. Maybe the protector in this case doesn't feel it's necessary for them to receive it, or they don't think they will provide that. And that's okay. They come from different energy, but they both complementarily promote the benefits and enjoyment and safety and comfort of the love object. But you say, when they come to be a problem? When there's conflict. Yes, the same energy can go to that direction. Let me give you examples here. Let's say the protector who wanted to make sure the children are safe, they not only baby-proof the house, they're hyper-vigilant, monitoring the child's behavior and actions from time to time, moment to moment, and does not let them explore, even though the majority of the house is baby-proof. There's still could be risk for the child to explore and hurt themselves and learn from that lesson. But if the protective energy is so impinging on the child, doesn't let them move and explore freely, then there's a conflict between the child and this protector. The child is very likely to push the boundary of the protector and getting frustrated and upset. And vice versa, the protector might be frustrated because the child is pushing boundary and maybe causing pain and not safe sometimes. Similarly to the nurturing energy, if the nurturing not only provided the food available, but trying to tell the object of their nurture to eat their food at certain given time and certain amount and how they eat. So control to the minor details of how this love object ingesting the food and taking in the nurture, it become a control. And there will be likely conflicts. That if the nurturing saying, you have to eat this, I put it on your plate, I made it with love, you need to eat it, you cannot waste, even though you don't feel like eating right now, even though you do not like that food particularly, I do not care. You need to value my love, you need to be responsive to my love, you need to receive my love, my nurturing. Bam! Then there's a conflict. Very likely the love object, and you think about a toddler, will push back, say, even spit out the food and saying, yuck, I don't want to eat it no more. So let me summarize. When does the opposing, different energy coming in become a conflict? If you see both examples, there is something in common. Is the person who's sending out the energy mix the energy with something else. It's not the pure color anymore. It's not pure red, pure green anymore. It could be mixed with a lot of, say, darkness, or it could be mixed with other color. So it become a different, slightly different color or different shades. What's getting mixed up? Yes, it is to impinge on the other being's autonomy. Crossing a boundary forcefully, instead of sending an energy, wait for them to open up their boundary to receive it and give you something feedback back. They forcibly pushing through the boundary when the boundary was closed and really not respect the other receiver of their energy is a separate being with their own free will and their own right of having their own experiences and can give feedback. So there's a merging. So when you're merging, the energy cannot be received or sent back and forth anymore because you become a one. Thinking about a child in a mother's uterus, they are literally one. But the moment the child is born outside the mother's body, they're two separate beings. They have a separate soul, they have a separate being, a physical form. Even though they depend on you, they're still separate. And coming with separation, there's some sense of loss. So that can really pull the sender of the energy to combine with some other energy, not the pure nurturing or protective energy to the other person. That's just an example to show up in the parent-child relationship. If you think about partners, if a romantic partner who is protective put a tracking device on your phone, like a malware, or they start to follow you around, stalk you, control where you're going to be in the evening, who you're going to see, how long you're going to stay, that protective nature start to become more possessive. Coming out of the place of jealousy and insecurity is not a pure protection anymore. It has the cover up of protecting you, but it's actually serving a selfish purpose. It comes from a different part of the energy field, not the protecting energy field. The same if a partner that's nurturing, making the food available and insist their partner eat their food when their partner is saying, well, I don't feel like eating, say, Chinese food tonight. I want a burger. Even though it's not healthy for me, I know it, but I'm willing to take the responsibility and consequence of that. I need that burger tonight. And if their partner is coming from a nurturing energy, but want to take away their autonomy in itself of self, they may impinge their strong will onto them, and that is not pure nurturing energy anymore. Therefore, it creates conflict. Yes, in day-to-day life, there are a lot of times you feel like you have different opinions. And how do you convey that opinion to your partner really matters a lot. What kind of energy you are projecting out to your partner? Are you being monitored? Are you monitoring if your partner's energetic boundaries are open to receive that? Can you shift, come from a different energy, conveying similar opinions and thoughts, and notice how it lands your partner and getting feedback? Is this sending, observing, adjusting, sending, observing, receiving? That is a relationship. That's energetic exchange. So in the next coming sessions, we'll be exploring specific examples of where do you send the energy? The same message you're sending to your partner, do you send it from here, 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 or your second chakra? What kind of energy are you conveying to your partner? And I'm looking forward to playing, exploring with you in the coming weeks. See you next time. Bye.